You like it? You think Cleveland's cool? I mean, I never heard anybody say I'm going to Cleveland on vacation. I mean, what's so good?
And strong words from Jakeem Noah right there. What he thinks about Cleveland. What do you guys think about Cleveland?
Well, I want to throw in an interesting statistic real quick. I guess I'm full of useless facts, but I don't know if anybody out there knew, and I'm sorry to the Cleveland population if you're listening, but Cleveland is the highest populated city in the U.S. with a population over 500,000 people that also has the highest poverty rate. So with that said, if I had the time off to take vacation, I'm not vacationing in Cleveland.
I mean, obviously, I agree with Joakim Noah too. I mean, I can't wait to hear the reaction.
I don't know much about Cleveland. I don't know much about Cleveland, but I don't want to get on LeBron's bad side or anything like that, especially now that we have this show, Talkin Hoops. By the way, call us 877-242-8212 on chataboutit.com, the only home for Talkin Hoops, Sundays. So, yeah, I don't want to get on LeBron's bad side. I'm staying away from that topic. But
Noah seems to only get on LeBron's bad side.
You know what? He's a very opinionated person. He just, whatever comes out of his mouth, we just all live with it. But LeBron had some things to say in terms of the Bulls daring him to shoot in Game 2, and this is what LeBron had to say.
Speak your mind, baby.
For giving me some God-given abilities, and leaping ability is one of them, and I just try to take full advantage of it. So in that situation, when I turn the corner and I see the rim, it doesn't matter if it's a guy in front of me or a guy behind me, I'm going to attack the rim at his highest level. And that's what I did tonight. And I knew I got around him, and I didn't believe he was going to jump. But once I seen him out the corner of my eye, I decided to just jump just a little higher.
And right over Noah he did, and he got dunked on. And then LeBron, in comments to all the trash talking Jakeem Noah was saying, he had this to say about the Bulls daring him to shoot the ball.
Every time I called it over there, it was daring me to shoot the ball, telling me that I couldn't shoot, or you can't make jump shots, so take the shot. So that's what I did. They asked for me to shoot a jumper, and I did that over and 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 over again.
So LeBron obviously showing why he's the greatest player in the NBA and showing what he could do to the Chicago Bulls. When he's playing like that, they don't have a chance. I don't think it was smart for Joakim Noah to get in his head like that because it's not going to work against LeBron.
But you know what? Do you think a guy like Noah is trying to play head games, or do you think that's just who Noah is?
I think that's all Noah has at this point. With being on the Chicago Bulls playing the Cavaliers, yeah, he's that type of a player, but at the same time, he's doing everything possible to try. He's got nothing left.
But you know what? I think that is part of his game, because I don't want to say he's a dirty player, because he's not, but he's a gritty player who's going to hustle, he's going to work hard, and I think he will do anything to help his team win, even if it is trying to get to LeBron's head. Just as a side note, too, I wanted to throw in that Joakim Noah did improve himself greatly this year, from going from averaging 6.6 points a game to 11 points a game and 10 rebounds a game. So he's
definitely a much better player.
His trash talk.
Is that what you're
trying to say?
Definitely a much better player.
With numbers, now you could talk trash more?
He is a much better player.
I think he's somebody he's going to improve.
He is a much better player.
Especially coming from that Florida program.
He is a much better player than he was, definitely. But when it comes down to it, yeah, the Bulls got one win in this series already, but it wasn't because of Jakeem Noah. I think it more had to do with the fact that Shaq has been playing way too much. The Cavaliers were a better team without him on the court. They won more games without Shaq. They're a whole different team now when Shaq comes on the floor, and the Bulls can exploit that. Get in their heads. Shaq is slow back on defense when he misses a shot, and that's
getting old.
Right. So
even though after game one, Shaq has disappeared.
Right. Even though the Cavaliers came back in that game, you see the minutes of J.J. Hickson. He was the X factor on that team, and he hasn't played. So now that Shaq's age is showing, and that he can't be the same player he was because he's old.
I also think
he has to step it up. Or they have to give J.J. Hickson more minutes. Otherwise, the Bulls are going to win another game in this series.
I think you're forgetting a key factor about Cleveland is Cleveland needs to get Antoine Jamison involved a lot better. And I just want to bring up something real quick, if I could, Adam J. One thing about Cleveland is anytime LeBron James has somebody who is I don't want to say great player, but a good player who comes onto the team, guys like Larry Hughes when he was in his prime, or even
great player.
No, I didn't say great player. Larry Hughes at one time in his prime
Was
did average
at
22
best
points a game. But when he
average
came to
player.
Cleveland, rather than LeBron James adapting to his new teammate and getting him involved more, Larry Hughes' game took a big dip because everybody sacrifices their game for LeBron James. Mo Williams essentially did it too because he went from putting up all-star numbers because he was an all-star to now taking a step back. Same thing with Antoine Jamison. Antoine Jamison was always a 20-10 guy. Comes to Cleveland, now he's only averaging 15-8 because he doesn't
it's
know
okay for
how to
me to
fit in with
average
LeBron
15-8.
James.
But that's okay. But that's okay.
We're
He's
talking about a 1-on-5
You know what?
offense.
He's fitting into the system fine. He is not the reason they didn't win that last game.
I'm not talking about just the last game. I'm saying for the future and on.
The future and on, they were doing great with Antoine Jamison. When he first came there, yeah, he had a rough stretch, but they got it together. They were playing really good basketball, and that showed going into the playoffs. That they got everything with Antoine Jamison. They got it under
But
control.
Antoine Jamison is probably overall ability-wise and statistic-wise the best teammate that LeBron James has ever
Absolutely.
had.
Absolutely.
But LeBron James needs to utilize his skills and talents more to make that team even better because that team is not going to go far in the playoffs. They'll beat Chicago, but they're not if they play Boston or Orlando. I think those two teams could beat Cleveland.
At the same time, I saw possessions where Antoine Jamison was involved in the game and he missed shots. He missed wide open 3-pointers. That's his game. He could shoot threes. He could drive baseline. He could do all that stuff. He didn't get it done. And when you have someone like Jamario Moon hitting 3-pointers for you and he's just having a hot night, you're going to keep going to that player that's hot. So at the end of the day, Antoine Jamison fits in. When he hits his shots, he's going to get the ball more. That's how LeBron plays. And you'll notice that. He finds the right teammate at the right time, and that's what makes him such a special player. That's what makes him stand out different.
Just like Jordan used to.
Right.
Right. But Jordan used to find the guys who make the shots.
Right.
Antoine just went from being on Washington.
Right. Exactly.
Washington.
Exactly.
So now to Cleveland.
Right. So now
it's on Antoine Jamison and nobody else to step his own game up.
Okay, and guys, actually, we have a caller right now.
Ooh.
Who's this?
Caller, you there? Hello, caller?
Hello, caller. Hello.
Dwayne from Philly?
We have some shy callers.
Hello?
Speak up.
Speak up. Hello.
Dwayne from Philly, you there? Hello? Dwayne from Philly.
Yo, Philadelphia in the house, the 215.
Yeah, Philadelphia, you there?
Yo, 215, baby, what's up?
How you doing?
How you doing today?
You guys sound good. You're talking about Antoine Jamison. The Wizards still miss that guy. But let me ask you about the Wizards. Next year, they'll have new ownership. They'll have Gilbert back. They got guys like Andre Blatch. Mike Miller probably come back. You think they can come back as a good team?
Actually, I think they'll come back as a great team. I think when it comes down to it, the Wizards have a really good organization. They have a good general manager. Gilbert Arenas going to have his head straight. They're not going to trade him. Because of all the trades they made at the deadline, they have a lot of flexibility to work with this summer. I think they're going to come back as a very improved team. I think there's a lot to say about the Washington Wizards next season, and just in general, the organization. It's just a very good owner, very good organization for the league to have. And James, you want to continue? Comment?
I was just gonna say, really, in answer to that question is, Gilbert Arenas to me is still an elite player, even though he's been injured and really, and even the beginning of this year he was playing well. I think with everything that's gone on with him, with his career and all the criticism that he's received, his ability, he's really gonna take his game up to the next level, and I hope so because I like that guy too, and I think he's a player. I think the Washington. Are they going to be a championship caliber team? Absolutely not. But are they going to step their game up and improve and make a playoff push? I definitely see so because Gilbert Arenas is definitely that type of a player.
All right. Thanks for your call,
Thank
Bruce.
you.
And we're going to take a quick break right now. But when we come back, we're going to hear from the James and Deval's countdown. We got 2 big countdowns coming up after this break. So stick with us. You're listening to Talkin Hoopz on chataboutit.com.